Hello, Linnea from Lilybrook here. As a reminder, I am a licensed professional counselor who has a neurodiverse affirming practice in Troy at Lilybrook, and I wanted to come and share some terms with you that you might be hearing more this month since it is Autism Acceptance Month, and a lot of these terms are connected with that. The first one is neurodiversity. Neurodiversity simply reflects that all of our brains are different, and there's no one specific type of brain. Everyone's brain has differences, something you're born with, something that happens, potentially things like that. But it just means the broad variety of different minds. Neurodivergent is an umbrella term, and that is for individuals whose brain differs from what would be considered the norm, or the statistical bell curve if you're super into science. And so this can be genetic, it can be acquired, like in a traumatic brain injury, it can be an innate part of you, or it can be something that's not. There can be lots of different reasons for it. And then neurotypical would be the typical brain. It'd be what would be considered normal, which I always put in quotes because I feel like normal is best described as a setting on the dryer, and so you may not actually know what the norm is. So neurodiverse is the term for a group of individuals who have lots of different things, and it includes both neurotypical and neurodiverse individuals. So neurodiverse is just everyone. So that's kind of what those terms are. Another one that you might hear a lot of, it seems to be especially popular these days, is info dumping. And that is when someone, doesn't even have to be an autistic person, but we hear it a lot in terms of autistic people, just kind of gives you everything that they have about their knowledge of a certain thing. So it could be hobbies, it could be scientific facts, it could be fish. Somebody gave me all of their facts that they knew about fish once, and it was spectacular, and I loved it. They could tell you all the ways that they know to build with Legos. They could tell you everything that they know about the weather. Lots of different things. It could be anything. And it's really cool to just kind of find out from people what they know. So I always allow time in my sessions for people to do that with me, so that we can share that time and share those interests. Another one is a spin or a special interest. This would be something that somebody really likes. One of my special interests, if we're going to use those terms, is neurodiversity. Actually, it's why I present about it. It's why I like to talk about it so much, because I think it's important that people know about all of these different things that are happening and stuff that's going on. Another term is stimming. So this is short for self-stimulation, and that means something like playing with a fidget. I have a little wobbly flamingo pen here. It can mean tapping your fingers. It can mean shaking your fingers, slapping your hands. Rocking back and forth is also considered stimulation or self-stim. And that's not a bad thing either. Sometimes people might give other people funny looks for that, but it is a thing that we all do. Think about how often do you click a pen when you have a pen that clicks, or if you're sitting in a boring meeting, do you tap your foot? All of those things would be considered stimming. We just tend to see it a lot as trying to stop people from doing that, and as long as the stim is not harmful or dangerous, there's no real reason to stop it if it gives somebody comfort, as long as it's appropriate and not harmful to them or somebody else. And then the other one is a meltdown. This is probably a longer term thing that we should examine, but a meltdown is just simply when an autistic person or anyone becomes overwhelmed with stimulation or overwhelmed with what's going on, and just cannot handle anymore. It's kind of like a volcano exploding, or just a bucket of water filling up and spilling over. So meltdowns are communication, they're behavior that tells us something, and so it's important to have things in place for that. Things like the grounding exercises that we talked about last week, or some other things as well. We'll probably do potentially another video about those as well to kind of help explain them. So I hope that this has given you some more information, and as usual, you can always contact Lilybrook for any questions you might have, and I will see you tomorrow.